Hello and good morning. This is the World News on your Premium Talk Radio, Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, Governor Nyesom Wike inaugurates committee to investigate and audit financial transactions of 23 local government councils in Rivers State. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi lashes out at vice presidential candidate of PDP Peter Obi over talk of 2023 Igbo presidency. Member of National Working Committee of All Progressives Congress demands resignation of National Chairman Adams Oshiomhole. And on the foreign scene, Japanese man died on plane after swallowing over 200 packets of cocaine. And now the details. Today is May 29th, and it marks the beginning of another democratic dispensation since Nigeria's return to civilian rule in 1999. Ordinarily, today is meant to be Democracy Day, but with the presidential order in 2018, June 12th has been recognized as Nigeria's new Democracy Day. While President Muhammadu Buhari will be sworn in for his second term in office, activities will also hold in 36 states of the Federation, where governors will also take their oaths of office. The federal government of Nigeria has declared today work-free to commemorate the presidential inauguration. In Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike and his deputy Palibo Harry Banigo will be sworn in for the second time as governor and deputy governor of Rivers State, respectively. Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee Ima Oka, in a statement, said the swearing-in ceremony, which will be performed by the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Adama Iyai Lamenkara, will take place at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium, Elekaya, Port Harcourt. In the meantime, the Rivers State Police Commissioner, Usman Belal, has assured that his command is fully prepared for the swearing-in ceremony of Governor Nyesom Wike and his deputy, warning anyone planning to disrupt the occasion to refrain from such act. The commissioner, while briefing newsmen in Port Harcourt, cautioned that the police will not tolerate any act that will undermine security in the state before, during, and after the swearing-in ceremony.
Today, I've called you here essentially to address you on our level of preparedness for the forthcoming swearing-in ceremony of the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Barrister Ezemwe Nyesom Wike CON, and his deputy, Dr. Mrs. Ipalibo Harry Banigo. As part of our measures to engender a seamless event, we have drawn up Operation Order, which captures our deployment for the event. Let me strongly assure the good people of Rivers State that the Rivers State Police Command, under my watch, will not leave any stone unturned to see that the swearing-in ceremony is hitch-free.
A few hours to the inauguration of Governor Nyesom Wike, stakeholders in Rivers State are beginning to speak on the expectations from the governor in the next 4 years. A traditional ruler from Opata Kingdom in Ahoda East local government area, Eze Felix Otuwarikpo, is advising the governor to concentrate in human capital and rural development. Eze Otuwarikpo, who also urged the governor to consolidate on projects around the local government areas, said insecurity was not peculiar to Rivers State.
And so now he's coming, for a second tenure. One, he should consolidate on most of those projects he carried out in his first tenure. Two, we expect he should also focus his attention on human capital development. Because if you cite a lot of projects and there are no human beings to maintain those projects, in future there will be problems. So we expect human capital development, on his second term, especially skills training and development. We need youth that will acquire a lot of skills, such as facility management. I will expect more presence in the rural communities. But the security situation is not peculiar to Rivers State. It's a national problem. The insecurity is an entirely inability of the federal government to manage the process.
Rivers State Police Command has paraded 4 suspected members of a syndicate who specialize in bank frauds using the WhatsApp platform. The command also paraded 21 kidnappers and armed robbers, as well as a 41-year-old Israel Amadi and a 35-year-old Michael Okunna, who deal on arms and ammunitions. Commissioner of Police Usman Belal, who briefed newsmen at the command headquarters in Port Harcourt, also announced the death of one of the notorious armed robbers. CP Belal said the criminal, identified as Thangod Nwadiko, also known as Commander Buki, is believed to be the leader of the cold gang responsible for kidnapping and killings along Omerelu-Owerri Road. The commissioner said operatives of anti-kidnapping unit led by Edward Shadari, while deploying technical intelligence, traced one Monday Naji to his hideout in Iboiche, where his gang engaged the police in a gun duel.
Operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit in a raid operation led by its commander, SP Edward Shadare, at the early hours of today, while deploying technical intelligence, traced one Monday Naj, aka I the Red, to his Igbo Ete hideouts, where their gang engaged the police in a gun battle. During the process, he was fatally wounded. One locally made gun and different charms were recovered. Operatives of the Eagle Crack Squad, acting on credible information, smashed a gang of armed dealers, local government. They were arrested at 889 rounds of live cartridges concealed in a big sack, driven in a tricycle while supplying it to their clients who terrorized the East-West Road.
Some of the arrested suspects narrated their role in the act that led to their arrest.
My gun is not here. I use the one way look like gun, but not the gun. We go to rob a big man. All the big man security will us out of the beat us. They can't carry us beef. Because I don't have what to do again. Because when I be Meduguri, they can condemn my leg. Who cannot condemn my leg? So I don't have what to do. For the day that they arrest us, they don't arrest us with anything. As we are going to that place, so we pass one way. Now in the police patrol, now in them block us.
Our correspondent reports that a total number of 21 suspected kidnappers, 11 suspected cultists, and 10 suspected armed robbers were paraded. Some of the items recovered from the suspects include 3 AK-47s, 17 locally made pistols, 3 pump action, 7 magazine, 150 ammunition, among others. Still on security, the Rivers State Police Command has promised to beef up security in and around the premises of the community secondary school Oruoruku to avoid a repeat of what happened in the school last week. Commissioner of Police in the state, Usman Belil, said this when he led a team of the management of the Rivers State Police Command to the community secondary school Oruoruku, where tear gas was detonated last Thursday. CP Belil, while addressing the students of the school, urged them to ensure that they report anybody suspected to be criminals to the school authorities. Meanwhile, the principal of the school, Ruth Major, while narrating what happened, explained the challenges the school is faced with.
Our challenges were that of security, because if we have good security in place, most of these things wouldn't have happened, especially from time to time coming here to teach the children about these security moves. Now, if they were aware of them, the injury or the casualty would not have been up to 25. But because they were not aware, they saw the smoke and they are not aware, they decided to run. And as a result, we experienced that stampede, which caused casualties, injuries, both legs and hands.
Correspondent Victor Ziama reports that the Rivers State Police Command made a donation of 300,000 naira to support the hospital bill of those injured during the panic. It was interesting to know that on Thursday, a video showing students of the community secondary school Oruoruku scampering for safety went viral on social media. When the video came out, it was speculated that the SS3 students brought in some weapons, including tear gas canisters and grenades, in preparation of a gang war with SS2 students, before the canister was mistakenly uncapped when one of the students was showing it to his classmates. Two senior secondary 3 students, Nicodemus Impari and Darlington Sylvanus, accused of releasing the tear gas, were taken into custody and later released on administrative bail. A high court in Port Harcourt has ordered the police to pay the sum of 100 million naira as compensation to a family of Onwunari Douglas, who was killed in 2018 by some policemen. Trial Judge Justice Adolphus Enebeli, in his judgment, held that the death of Onwunari Douglas was as a result of negligence by the police officers. Justice Enebeli also ordered the Commissioner of Police to investigate the surveillance team that conducted the said raid on Nembe waterfront on November 23rd last year. The court further ordered the police to allow the bereaved family to bury the remains of Douglas that is currently lying at a morgue in Port Harcourt. 53-year-old late Onwunari Douglas was shot dead during an alleged raid by some policemen on November 23, 2018 at Nembe waterfront in Port Harcourt. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has inaugurated a committee to investigate and audit the financial transactions of 23 local government councils from May 2018 to May 2019. Governor Wike said the committee is not aimed at removing any cancelled chairman or official, but targeted at improving probity and accountability in the 23 local government councils of the state. The governor regretted that despite the monthly allocation to the 23 local government councils, there is no local government area that has executed projects.
We're not trying to remove any local government official, but we want to know how they are spent or how they are spending the funds that are being given to them for the federation account. One good thing is that since I became governor, I've never been involved in interfering in local government accounts. But I found out that there's no local government you go to and you see any single project. I was the local government chairman. I've invited the governor, Dr. Peter then, to come and commission projects. I don't think any council chairman has even invited me to come and commission one project because there's none.
He urged the committee to leave above board, saying that if he gets information that any local government chairman or godfather attempts to compromise the committee will be dissolved.
I have that confidence that you'll be able to carry out your job very well without fear or favor. So I don't want to hear that one political father, godfather, or one strong member of our party came begging you to help so local government council. So people must sit up and account for the funds that given to them. You have only 3 weeks, so it's a taxing job to do this job and submit your report.
Deputy Governor and Chairman of the committee, Pali Buhari Banigo, assured Governor Wike that the committee will deliver on schedule in line with its terms of reference.
I want to sincerely thank you for the confidence that you have reposed in us in assigning us to do this very, very, very important assignment, which I know how much it touches your heart. I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve in this manner. And so, Your Excellency, on this committee, we want to assure you that we are committed. We are committed because we know that this assignment will do a lot to improve what services our people have been getting at the local government.
Our correspondent reports that the committee has 3 weeks to submit its report. You're listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. We'll be back after the break with more news before the foreign sin.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. It's 13 minutes after 7. You're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi has lashed out at the vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Peter Obi, for saying that Amechi, is not politically relevant to discuss whether Igbos should have the presidency in 2023 or not. Amechi, who spoke on the sidelines at an interactive forum of maritime stakeholders in Lagos, said the former Anambra State governor does not have the credibility to speak on the matter because he could not win the presidential election. He also said right from when he became Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly till date, his name has been in the front burner of national politics far more than Peter Obi. Amechi said that for the Igbos to get the presidency in 2023, they must be part of national politics. The Minister of Transportation insisted that there is need for the Southeast to be part of national politics, stressing that if the Igbos are not part of national politics, they cannot be president. Vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Peter Obi, had during his visit to River State lambasted Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi for saying the Igbos have no chance of succeeding President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023. Deputy National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Lawal Shuaibu, has asked the National Chairman of APC, Adams Oshiomhole, to resign from office. Shuaibu made the demand in his letter dated May 27, 2019, which was delivered to Oshiomhole in Abuja on May 28. The former senator said he wrote the letter in his personal capacity and asked the deputy national chairman of the party because of the inability of Oshiomhole to ensure the party flourishes, adding that he lacked the necessary composure, capabilities, and requisite experience to run a political party. The National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, has advised the River State government to consider dredging the Omok River in Ogba, Egbemandoni local government area in order to reduce health hazards from possible contamination. Zonal head of NOSDRA, Cyrus Nkangwang, gave the advice in an interview with our correspondent in Port Harcourt. Nkangwang, who explained that some parts of Arashi River in Ahoda West local government area of the state, where villagers carry out domestic activities, are unsafe.
We believe that by the clearance of the water hydrant, that there will be free flow of water into the body. Because apart from even the waste from the company, there are waste also from the communities thrown into the water. We also recommended at the long run that the government should undertake, possibly in collaboration with the federal government, if they want even to collaborate with even the IG company, to dredge the Omok River. So dredging the river will open up more channels of water, so that the water that are already inhabiting there, that could not go out, will now flow. So you have a free flow of water in the place. The water is having taste is also odor, because the water is supposed to be colorless, odorless, and tasteless.
The Nostra boss said his advice is in response to complaints of water contamination as a result of oil spill in Akinima, Ahodo West, and Omok in Oba-Egbemandoni local government areas of River State, adding that members of the affected communities raise fears over waste crude products from multinationals operating in the area contaminating their domestic water and rivers.
This Akinima community, they are complaining of fears that the drill cutting, when we were doing drilling, the waste is called the drill cutting, that those things were kept in an IGP facility, is impacting their community water. But they are afraid that those things must have percolated into their place. We are setting up today to confirm the possibility of the contamination. Omok community, about the contamination in their water, the Omok River. They would ascertain the season where those contaminations are higher, so that will enable you to arrest it. So once you get a result that show contamination, then of course the recommendation will be for the river to be cleaned.
Government at all levels have been urged to invest more in education in order to reduce crime in the society. This was part of the recommendations made during the sensitization and orientation program for students of Kalabari National College, Bugoma, organized by the Old Students Association of the college. Guest lecturer at the event, Isile Amakri, who spoke on youth's participation in social vices and the criminal justice system, advised the students to desist from criminal activities capable of destroying their future. Speaking at our correspondent, Elfreda Lerici, on the sidelines of the event, the national president of the Old Students Association, retired Captain Tam Ambe Baranago, and the chairman of the National Working Committee, Isile Amakri, called for improved funding in education as well as a compulsory boarding system for public secondary schools to curb crimes in the society.
Education is light. Nigeria today is in darkness because we have relegated education to the lowest level. That's why there's killing everywhere. Government budget 2%, 3%. Have you not heard that Nigeria is the most poorest country in the whole world? Because we are not educating our people. When you educate a nation, you have brought light upon that nation. So the government should commit every possible resources to educate the children of Rivers State.
Is to vote more money to education and make these schools boarding schools. Even if it will not be all, let it be one per local government. We were boarding before. My house was there, and the discipline was effective. But now you finish with the child at 2 p.m. He goes, he sees you again 8 a.m. tomorrow. The remaining 18 hours, what did he do with it? You don't know.
Some of the students who spoke to our correspondent called on government to provide seats and books in their library.
Government should do, as for me, number one is most our seats they are not good, and most of our boards are not good too. Most of our board are not good, and textbooks, we need textbooks from the government.
And the board. Our decks are very bad, and we lack a lot of board, because before, I can remember when I was in JSS, we were using whiteboard marker, but when I get to this hall, we're still using whiteboard marker, but all of a sudden, the board got so, because there are no doors to secure the board. So people from the village come inside, do what I want to do, and destroy some of the things in the school. And I wish we can have doors in all the classes, things will be safe. The library is okay, but we still need more books. We should make it concurrent.
Some teachers don't come regularly, and we don't have good decks and seats.
And now to the foreign scene. At least 9 miners have died in Zimbabwe following blasts in a shaft north of the capital, Harare, where they are illegally digging for gold. Police spokesman Paul Nyati told AFP that 8 people had died in Jumbo Mine in Mozawi, while another person died later after another explosive went off while they were underground. Nyati said bodies were retrieved and investigations are being undertaken to establish how they got into the mine, which was guarded at the entrance. The owners of the mine, Metalon Corporation, confirmed the incident and said none of the victims were company employees. Accidents involving illegal or informal miners are common in Zimbabwe, where many use makeshift equipment to earn a living. Zimbabwe has valuable platinum, diamond, gold, coal, and copper deposits. A Japanese man has died on a plane after swallowing almost 250 packets of cocaine. The suspected drug mule went into cardiac arrest from the drug overdose shortly after takeoff. Passengers on board reported seeing the man convulsing. The Aeromexico flight, which had taken off from Mexico City in Mexico and was headed to Narita, Japan, was forced to make an emergency stop at Hermosillo. In August last year, Mexican police found cocaine worth thousands of dollars hidden inside more than a dozen bread rolls during an airport drug raid. And now to entertainment. American rap star Chris Brown failed to appear at a hearing in Paris where he had been summoned to a face-to-face meeting with a French woman who has accused him of rape. The 24-year-old woman says Brown, along with his bodyguard and a friend of his, assaulted her in the luxury Mandarin Oriental Hotel on the 9th of January 15. Brown and his associates were released without charges in January after being held for questioning following the allegations of aggravated rape and a drug offense. The woman, however, stood by the accusations and police summoned the singer to a confrontation with his accuser. Brown's lawyers have said he's innocent and they're considering a libel lawsuit. And now to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Governor Nyesom Wike has inaugurated a committee to investigate and audit the financial transactions of 23 local government councils in Rivers State. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has lashed out at the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, Peter Obi, over talks of 2023 Igbo presidency. And we told you that a senior member of the National Working Committee of the ruling All Progressives Congress has demanded for the resignation of the national chairman of the party, Adams Oshiomhole. And on the foreign scene, you heard that a Japanese man has died on a plane after swallowing over 200 packets of cocaine. And that was the news as edited by Victor Zama. For comments and inquiries, please call 081-5341-8657 or 081-4434-3502. Or you can send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Annie Abdusalam. Thank you for listening. To have a good morning.
News, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues, today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Nigeria is more than a geographical expanse of land spreading from the north down to the south. Nigeria is the people that live in it. You are Nigerian. I am Nigerian. We are Nigeria. Nigeria gets better when we do. And there is no limit to the little things we could all do to make Nigeria a country we will be proud to call our own. Little things that matter, done for the love of Nigeria, is all we need to make Nigeria better and greater. This message is powered by Today 95.1 FM.
It's 23 minutes after 7, and I'm here in the studio with, excuse me?
Keme Abraham.
All right, and you're representing?
NASAB Realities.
All right, go ahead. What's about NASAB?
All right, good morning, listeners at home. My name is Keme Abraham from NASAB Realities, and this morning, once again, we are here in the studio to invite everybody for our program coming up later this afternoon. It's a public holiday. You can join us today later in the afternoon by 2 to 4. For those of you who can't make it today, you can join us tomorrow, 10 to 12 in the morning, 2 to 4. And then finally on Saturday, 10 to 12 only. In this program, we are going to be educating you about how you can generate extra income, how you can make money as others recharge their phones. Take note, this is not about printing or selling of recharge cards, but how you can practically generate extra income as others buy recharge cards on their phones. The second thing you'll be learning in this program, it's about how you can have access to instant loans simply by dialing a code on your phone. Now, I strongly believe you're used to dialing codes to borrow airtime or borrow data. The service is quite similar to that, but the only difference is that you're getting real money into your bank account. You can get up to a maximum of 500,000 just like that. Take note, it's collateral free. You don't need to do any form of paperwork. You don't need to have any form of guarantors. All you need to do is dial that code and you're getting that loan to your bank account. For those of you who have Android phones, and we are going to also show you some other apps that offer similar services.
Right. So how is it possible to get loans without collaterals? I mean, pretty much everywhere you go, we're asked for collaterals. So how is this possible?
Yeah. Just like you rightly said, pretty much everywhere you go, you would need collateral, and that is why this service is actually innovative. Okay, it's so easy. It's so easy, but the only form of security I believe it's embedded in the system is that you won't get the maximum big money the very, very first time. Okay, so they just give you an amount the very, very first time. When you pay back that amount, what you're able to access just keeps
going higher
and higher as your credit score increases. Yes.
Right.
Now the final and the highlight of the program actually is about how you can make up to 1.5 million naira with Globalcom within 3 months. It's working, it's exciting, and believe me, we really love you to be a part of this program, and let's see how this can affect our lives positively. Now, kindly take note, this program is completely free of charge, but however, we're expecting that you come with 2,000 naira to the seminar venue. The purpose of that 2,000 naira is for your own practicals, because when we talk about you making money as other people spend on their lines, I know some people may be skeptical, and that's why we want to do everything practically so that you can actually see how it works. So we expect that you come with 2,000 naira. Within that 2,000 naira, you're spending 1.5 for airtime. So inside the 2,000 naira, 1,500 naira, see they enter your phone back. So you they buy recharge card. Well, we are saying come and buy recharge card 1.5 for yourself, and then 500 naira is just to optimize your SIM so that immediately after the program, whatever you're recharging on your phone, you're getting paid for every amount of money you spend on your phone. Now, this program is coming up in our office. Our office is at Corn Oil Petrol Station. Corn Oil Petrol Station by Market Junction, Aba Road, Rumomasi. If you want to be a part of this program, you will need to book a seat. Now, to book a seat, all you need to do is write the word yes, as in YES, yes, in a text message and send it to 081 108 73661. The phone number again is 081 108 73661. Not to miss out, to book a seat in this program, all you need to do is write the word yes in a text message and send to 081 108 73661.
Is that it? Those are the numbers?
Yes.
So all they need to do is send a text of message yes to those numbers.
Exactly.
Do they have to pay anything? You said the 1.5 is actually for credits
yes,
for their phones.
For their phones, and then just extra 500 naira to optimize their SIM cards.
All right then. So for anybody that is coming here now, is it that it's necessary that they must have smartphones?
No. Kindly take note, you don't need to have a smartphone. You don't need to be computer literate. Regardless of the network you're currently on, you can be a part of this business. You see, this is, we are just inviting you to come and see the wealth of the telecom industry and also see how you can personally plug in into this world and make something for yourself. This telecom industry it's very large. A lot of money is exchanging hands in this telecom industry. If you listen to me right now, you get phone, you dey recharge, and money they enter inside your bank account. My brother, money they fly past you for where you did so. Because for in our country today, there are over 210 million active SIM cards in Nigeria. That simply shows that there are more SIM cards and mobile phones in Nigeria today than human beings. Nigeria is ranked number 7 in the whole world for the most users of mobile phones. Today in our country, recharge cards have been termed the fastest selling commodity. Before now, the fastest selling commodity was pure water. Statistics has also shown that within every 1 hour, more than 3 million Nigerians recharge their phone. Even the World Bank have noticed that in our country today, we spend more money to recharge our phones than we spend on feeding. So you see, the telecom industry is so large, and a lot of money is exchanging hands here. And that's why we are inviting you. Come and learn how you can be a part of this industry. This is a business. Kindly take note, it's not an investment platform. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a networking kind of business, okay? It is a real business that you can actually do right from the comfort of your home. And if you want to take it a step further and probably have a shop, just like I do, yes, you can, and make something good out of this business for yourself. There are so many income streams which we are not actually discussing on here because of the limitation of time, and that's why we're inviting everybody. Come and be a part of this telecom industry. Learn how you can make money for every amount of money you recharge on your phone. Practically will be showing you, and I strongly believe that when you see it practically, you'll be very much interested in making money from the calls recharges of other Nigerians, just like I do. The business is very exciting. It's the best thing that has happened to me within the last 5 years. For the past 5 years, people recharge their phones and I get paid, and believe me, I'll be more than happy to show you how all this works.
All right then. So when is the meeting going on?
Yeah, like I said, it's coming up later this afternoon, 2 to 4. If you can join us this morning, fine, 10 o'clock. But I know the message is quite coming this morning to you. So you can join us for the afternoon session, 2 to 4. If you can't make it at all today is public holiday, come out. If you can't make it today, you can join us tomorrow, 10 to 12, 2 to 4. And then finally on Saturday, 10 to 12 only. Like I said, if you want to be a part of this program, all you need to do is bring out your phone right now and SMS the word yes, as in YES, yes, in a text message, and send it to 081 108 736 61. The phone number again is 081 108 736 61. Not to miss out, write the word yes in a text message and send it to 081 108 736 61. Remember, this is a great opportunity for you to generate extra income, a great opportunity for you to start your own business. The richest people in the world, they are all business people. You wouldn't find a salary earner. You may have a job, you're keeping salary. Yes, it's not a bad thing, but we all need multiple streams of income. This is actually a very simple business you can do right from the comfort of your home. Like I said, all you would need is your mobile phone. And for every recharge card you make, recharge cards that your friends, your neighbors, and many Nigerians at large are recharging on their phones, you can make money. Remember, you can also have access to instant loans. Remember that and the highlight of this program, we're going to be showing you how you can make up to 1.5 million naira with Globalcom. I'm going to be showing you how you can make up to 1.5 million naira with 9 Mobile within 3 months.
Right.
Within 3 months.
Okay then.
Yes.
So can you show your numbers again?
Beautiful. You want to be a part of this program, like I said, write the word yes in a text message and send it to 081 108 736 61. The phone number again is 081 108 736 61. Not to miss out, write the word yes in a text message and send it to 081 108 736 61.
All right then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we wrap it up. Just stay tuned. Spot Attack comes up next.
Are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
For the best and most incisive sporting reports, tune in to Sports Attack on Today 95.1 FM every week morning at 7:30 a.m. My name is Daniel Igale, President of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation. I also listen to the show. A very good morning and welcome to Sports Attack, reaching you live from Today95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. It's the Wednesday, 29th day of the month of May. And of course, right there, they call it Democracy Day right here in this part of the world. So we'll call your friends, call your enemies as we take you through the world of sports in about 30 minutes or thereabouts. Let's start from Taekwondo this morning. But the Nigerian Taekwondo Federation is set to meet with current boss of the Nigerian Police Taekwondo Association, NIPOTA, Mrs. Stella Ibikefe, this week over the proposed 8th Inspector General of Police Taekwondo Championship, which has scheduled to take to hold in Port Harcourt, River State, between 25th to 27th of July 2019. In an official letter to the President of the Federation, Mrs. Margaret Elizabeth Binga, the Nigerian Police Taekwondo Association boss informed the Federation of the annual event and enlisted the technical assistance of the Federation with regards to the organization of the championship. The Police Taekwondo boss further requested meeting with the Federation to discuss the logistics and other requirements that would make the event a success. Moving on this morning to boxing, where unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua says he will only feel he has made it in boxing if he captures Deontay Wilder's the WBC title. 29-year-old faces Andy Ruiz Jr. on Saturday and told BBC Sport he does not feel burnt out as the fight week begins for the first time in a decade. I've never been in a fight week where I have felt so energized. He said ahead of his bout against Andy Ruiz Jr., Joshua had this to say.
Saturday night, win and look good. So that's like the boxing I was talking about. It's like the steps. So I think without all the hardship I went through, blah, would never be MSG. Without the fight Saturday night, going through the tough times, emotion, physical struggle, I'll never get to Wilder. So I've got to get through that and then straight on to the big fight. They should sit us down face to face. That'll be good. I think they should sit us down face to face and talk about what the issues are, man to man, and get this fight sorted this year.
Meanwhile, Ruiz has revealed he got the New York fighter boggling Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn on Instagram. Moving on this morning to tennis, where 8 seed Juan Martin Del Potro survived a scare against world number 58 Nicolas Jarry to reach the French Open second round. Argentine Del Potro lost the first set but recovered to beat 23-year-old Chilean 3-6, 6-2, 6-1, 6-4. The 30-year-old will face Japan's Yoshihito Nishioka. Del Potro is seeking a first Grand Slam win since becoming U.S. Open champion 10 years ago. Meanwhile, 5th seed Alexander Zverev took more than 4 hours to beat 56th ranked Joel Millman in the first match on court. Philippe Chatrier winning 7-6, 6-3, 2-6, 6-7, 6-3. He was shaky in the middle of the match against Millman, who upset Roger Federer at the 2018 U.S. Open. Fabio Fognini, the Monte Carlo Masters champion, also made it into the second round with a 6-3, 6-love, 3-6, 6-3 win over fellow Italian Andrea Serpi, as Kyle Edmund of Great Britain ended his marathon 5-set match with a 7-6, 5-7, 6-4, 4-6, 7-5 win over Jeremy Shardy. And of course, number 4, the second round, Taylor Fries, who is 21, defeated Australia's Ben Tomic 6-1, 6-4, 6-1 for a career first. And the Roland Garros main draw, he was also in the US man. He was also the first US man to win, and would next face Spain's Roberto Bautista Agut and the 18th seed right there. In the women's draw, world number 1, Naomi Osaka avoided a premature end to her bid for a third straight Grand Slam title by coming from behind to reach the French Open second round. She twice had to stop Slovakia's Anna Karolina Smedlova, 7 out of the match before winning love 6, 7-6, 6-1. Osaka next faces two-time Australian Open champion and former number 1 Victoria Azarenka, who eliminated 2017 French Open champion Yelena Ostapenko 6-4, 7-6. While defending champion Simona Halep overcame a mid-match lapse in a 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 win over 47-ranked Adria Tomljanovic. Meanwhile, defending men's champion Rafael Nadal said every stage presents a new challenge for him.
Every year is a new challenge. More than new challenges or not, every year is a new challenge. And today, I was able to win the first challenge, and after tomorrow, I'm going to have the second challenge, and that's all the way.
While world number 1 Novak Djokovic gave a hint to his newfound strength.
I was just doing my pre-training session warm-up routine, and I took the medicine ball and I just swing with the ball quite hard in front of me, kind of to warm up upper body. And after a second throw, I heard a crack, and the wooden floor completely collapsed under. And they fixed it in less than a day. Next day it wasn't there. But next day I was doing it on a concrete wall and concrete steps, so I learned my lesson.
Over now to the NBA, where Golden State Warriors star Kevin Durant traveled on the team's charter to Toronto on Tuesday ahead of Games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals against the Toronto Raptors, even though he has been officially ruled out for Game 1 with a strained right calf. Durant injured his calf in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Houston Rockets and has not played since then. The All-Star forward has been shooting on his own but has yet to do any on-court work with his teammates as he continues the rehab process, according to coach Steve Kerr. Kerr said that injured center DeMarcus Cousins, who had a quadriceps, is listed as questionable. Durant injured his right calf on May the 8th in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Houston Rockets. Cousins tore the quad muscles in the left leg in Game 2 of the first round of the playoffs against the LA Clippers on 15th of April, but the injury did not require surgery. Kerr said he's not worried about rapper Drake, who is the number one fan of the Toronto Raptors.
I'm not worried about Drake. I called him on his cell phone earlier, and my daughter's rolling her eyes right now. She's like, "Dad, no more dad jokes, please." So, sorry.
And of course, Game 1 of the NBA Finals takes place in Toronto in the early hours of Friday morning, and of course 2 a.m. Nigerian time. But the Warriors then have a couple of days off before Game 2 on Sunday. And of course, the Toronto Raptors have, and of course, home court advantage right there. It is seeking to become the first team to take the NBA championship outside of the USA. And of course, over now to football from the NPFL will start this morning, where Oriental rivals Enyimba and Rangers will clash in the opening game of the Nigerian Professional Football League Championship playoffs at Agege Stadium, Lagos, on the 4th of June. Rangers finished top in the 2018-2019 NPFL Abridged Championship Group A on 40 points from 22 matches to qualify for the Super 6. Enyimba finished third in the same group on 33 points behind Lobby Stars with 35 points to also qualify the League Managing Company. The organizers of the NPFL released the fixtures for the competition on Tuesday, which happened to be yesterday. And of course, the encounter between the fierce rivals who have won the NPFL title 7 times each will kick off at 3 p.m. on the 4th of June. Of course, the first day fixtures next week at Tuesday. And of course, we'll see match day 1, Enyimba up against Rangers International. That game comes up by 3 p.m. The second match will be Kano Pillars up against Aqua United by 5 p.m. FC Ifeanyi will be up against Lobby Stars. That game comes up by 7 p.m. Match day 2 comes up on Thursday, the 6th of June, as Aqua United will be up against FC Ifeanyi 3 p.m. Rangers are up against Lobby Stars at 5 p.m. and Kano Pillars will be up against Element International. It's going to be like a league format. Everything is going to be 5 match days right there. However, Edo State FA chairman Frankie Laboya has condemned the officiating in the Nigerian Professional Football League match between Rivers United and Benin Insurance in Port Harcourt on Sunday. Insurance lost by a goal to nothing, courtesy of a late penalty, which saw them relegated to the second-tier league after just one season in the top flight. Laboya, who was present at the match venue, said it's one of the worst officiating I've ever seen. It was brazen officiating from the onset. It was evident that the referee and his assistants had a mission. Insurance played against Rivers United and the match officials. The veteran sport journalist, who also doubles as the chairman of One West Local Government Edo State, also urged the League Management Company to investigate the final day tie between Sunshine Stars and MFM in Akure. MFM saw their Super 6 dream go up in smoke after losing 4-2 to Sunshine, which helped the Akure side secure their place in the NPFL. Quoting him, he says, "This is the Sunshine side that could hardly score 2 goals in a game all season, now scoring 4 against a team like MFM. After they played Insurance in Benin, they boasted that they would survive relegation. So LMC should take another look at their final match." Laboya stated, "We feel pain from the state government to the football-loving people of the state about this relegation. This is one season that the club had the best motivation in terms of welfare." To the Super Falcons camp we go this morning, where the Super Falcons of Nigeria stepped up their preparation for the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup in France, coming from a goal down to beat Hungarian Women's First Division club Haladas Victoria 5-1 in a pre-season tournament friendly yesterday. A brace from Asado Shwala and other strikes from Chiwendu Ihozo, Francisca Odega and Ogonna Chukwude sealed a comfortable win for the Super Falcons. The Super Falcons will play another friendly match before they depart Australia, where they are on a 2-week residential campaign. The Nigerian team will leave for France on Tuesday, the 4th of June. They will play
Norway, Korea Republic, and host France in that order in the group phase of the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup. While former Super Falcons coach Edwin Okon has called on handlers of the national team to give more home-based players a chance, adding that the domestic league is very tough and capable of improving Nigeria's senior women's national team. Current coach of the 9-time African champions, Thomas Deneby, on Friday named 7 home-based professionals comprising of 3 goalkeepers and 4 outfield players in his final list of 23 players for the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, which begins in France on the 7th of June. But Okon, who in 2015 took 14 home-based players, 11 of them outfield, to the World Cup in Canada, advised the Falcons coaches to give players in the Nigerian Women Premier League more priority during selection.
There's no trust in our home base from the handlers. For me, I'm a grassroots coach. I traveled to Canada with 23 players, five professionals, and 18 home base. And it's true there with the likes of Oshola, the likes of most of those players. Ngozi Ibere, Nanko, Okobi, it was through that tournament that they all see their greener pasture. I think it's a wrong thing for us not to recognize the league in the country today. And the league is very strong. And how do we make a team of 20 or 25 players so that about 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 home base? They're not prepared for it. If the handlers really had to believe in the home base, I think there'll be a lot of prospect for us.
The Rivers Angels coach equally noted that the team has not improved much since he left in 2015.
For now, there's no changes. The team are using 20, same thing are using Super Falcons, the same thing they're using today. There's only, apart from only one player that is included, there's only intake into the team. So I don't know whether I would say we are progressing or not. We're not encouraging the league to grow. I think at this level, we should encourage the league to grow. There are so many good players in the league, so many, and the league is very strong. And if the league is very strong and there's encouragement from the authorities, I don't know where we are heading to.
Despite taking largely home-based players to the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada, Edwin Okon's team failed to go beyond the group stage, losing to both eventual champions USA and Australia after a draw with Sweden. The Falcons have been drawn with Norway, South Korea, and host France in this year's tournament. They will open their campaign against Norway on the 8th of June before facing South Korea and France in that order. Nigeria are yet to progress beyond the group stage of the World Cup since 1999 when Ismail Amabo led the Falcons to a quarter-final finish. Still in the camp of the Falcons this morning, where Super Falcons defender Onomebi has said it's a huge achievement to be representing Nigeria for the 5th time at the FIFA Women's World Cup in France next month. Ebi, who made her first appearance at the World Cup in 2003, said she is filled with excitement while appreciating the team officials for acknowledging her to be worthy of the selection.
Also, I just want to say I thank God because, yes, all players are happy to play at the World Cup, but the case of playing the 5th time, it's really, really something huge for me, and I thank God and I thank my players, officials for making it come to pass. I'm really, really happy about it.
AB said, as players, you must continue to work hard to earn your place in the team.
For fans and people watching, you can say that again, but for the players, we always have to work really hard to make the list that will be representing the country. So I always work hard and try to be among the list, despite the fact that I've played 4 times, but still continue to work hard and wish to be among. You can't say.
And to the camp of Nigeria Super Eagles this morning, where former Super Eagles midfielder Mutiu Adekoju has charged the current set of players in the Nigeria's national team to ensure they put in a lot of effort in order to ensure they emerge champions at this year's edition of the African Cup of Nations. Adekoju, who was a member of Nigeria's winning team at 1994 AFCON, admitted that the Continental Soccer Showpiece is a major championship that other teams will also love to win, but stressed that the Eagles could become 4-time champions through hard work. The former Real Sociedad of Spain player, who was known for his immense ability to score with headers during his heyday, added that the Eagles can only realize their ambitions through the scenes of hard work. He noted further that no team goes into any competition without a gleam of hope and desire to emerge champions, but concluded that victory will go only to the side that puts in the best of the preparations and abilities. That Adekoju stressed the idea of going in for the Nations Cup should be the same with that mindset that is all about winning any championship you enter for. The Nations Cup is a major championship we have in Africa. Every player would love to win it, but they have to work for it to win it. Of course, it was right there of Mutiu Adepoju. However, Shanghai Shenhua of China striker Ojon Judy Halo is set to become the player that will cost most for the country to get from his base into the Nigerian national team, as the tickets that will take him into the Super Eagles camp this weekend will cost more than 4 million naira. This was the startling revelation of NFF President Amaju Melvin Pinnick, who gave a breakdown of the expenses the soccer body has to go through in getting the players to honor national team matches. The soccer governing body Supremo said these figures represent only what would be spent by the NFF as traveling expenses for the foreign-based players that have been called up to the Super Eagles camp. This is said in a televised interview monitored by Sport Attack right there.
It's not a hidden document. You know, we have about $1 billion every year in budget, but what is backed by cash, or what is called budget performance, about 65%, which comes to about 650,000. But let me give you an example. When the Super Eagles they are playing a game, the minimum it costs is 200 million, 250 million. Now this morning I was reading, they sent a memo to me, you know, for Mikel or the people that they invited. Mikelovi's ticket alone is 3.5 million. It's normal. Igalo's zone is about 4-point-something million, you know. So if you put all this together, if you had 30 players calculate together, you're talking about 60-70 million alone for their coming. They talk about daily allowances, you talk about bonuses, you talk about accommodation, you talk about match organization, referees indemnities, you can go on and on. It is huge. And you are dealing with 13 national teams.
And of course, Pinnick also spoke about the distractions that is bedeviling football in the country.
There are major distractions. You know what's going on in Nigerian football. We ran for an election in September. We won even if I went to the election, some of these people, they came, they wanted to stop the election, they couldn't stop the election. They are not part of call is forum shopping for indictment, writing all sorts of petitions, sending it to all. Before it even gets to the security agencies, they'll publish it, put it on social media, all trying to dent our image. I'm talking about a deep-seated, if you like, call it delusional or obsessional hatred without recourse to civility, without recourse to humanity, or without recourse to national interest. It is, I want to call it, it's a sociopathic, you know, when you say a sociopath, when they move, they do not care what happens. They don't care if you can't get it, nobody gets it. Everybody dies. And that is the kind of, is at that extreme that I'm talking about.
And of course, when asked what role the sports minister, I can call him then sports minister Solomon Dalong, has played in uniting football in the country, Amaju had this to say.
The minister at a point wanted to reconcile, not too long ago, the so-called warring factions, you know. He did his human extreme, but that's where it is, you know. And I don't think he would have seen their writing on the wall that the guys were persistent, so possibly backed out. But it tried at a point in wanting to reconcile everybody, you know. We made overtures. Even till tomorrow, we do not even believe that we should have enemies in football. Even till tomorrow. I stand here today to even ask for them for forgiveness. Let us move as a team. I'm the president of Nigerian Football Federation at this point. Tomorrow it can be you being the president. And I've said it clearly. After this tenure, I'm not running again. That one is certain. I have another 3.5 years. After then, let me go back to my beautiful family and stay with them. You know, my businesses are running, but I can also take my businesses also to the next level.
Amaju Melvin Pinnick, right after this tenure, I'm not running again, right there. It all comes to a crescendo tonight, to a climax tonight, right there in Azerbaijan. And of course, Baku is the city, and of course, in Azerbaijan. And of course, let's hear as an intro this morning.
It is important that we engage with UEFA as we have been to make sure we make the message very clear that those places where football should travel to should be welcoming to those who to support football, and politics should have nothing whatsoever to do with it.
Henrik Mkhitaryan will miss the match of a lifetime because he's from Armenia. And Arsenal fans with Armenian names have been denied visas to travel to Baku. This is a scandal. It's a deeply ugly side to the beautiful game. And if I was Secretary of State, I would make it clear to UEFA that it's completely unacceptable.
And of course, that was Tom Watson, Deputy Labour Leader right there in the UK. And of course, the first voice you heard was Jeremy Wright. And of course, he is the Secretary of State for Digital, Culture, Media and Sports right there in the United Kingdom. Speaking ahead of the UEFA Europa League final tonight. And of course, Unai Emery says winning a trophy with Arsenal is more important than securing Champions League football for next season. Arsenal play Chelsea in today's Europa League final in Baku, knowing a win will give them a direct route into the group stages of next year's elite European competition. But Emery says his primary motivation is winning a trophy with Champions League qualification a secondary objective.
I think no, because the first is, and in Chelsea they are in the same idea. Chelsea won this competition with Rafa Benitez, and in this moment, not the possibility to go from Europa League to Champions League. And why is the reason? Because all the title in one objective in the teams in the world is play for the possibility to win the title. I think the first objective is to play for the possibility to win one title. And after this, the second is also help us to achieve the Champions League through this competition. But the first target for Arsenal and for Chelsea is play to show our supporter and to win for our supporter, for all us, one title.
And of course, on if Peter Cech was going to be in goal for the Gunners for the very last time, Emery reacted thus.
I respect him a lot. His career is amazing. First, like a person, a second, like a professional goalkeeper. I think he deserved to trust in him, not because I am saying to you here, because his career says to us he is a gentleman. And tomorrow cannot start. I am going to decide. But both for him is doing the respect. And really, I think how we can not believe in him.
While Chelsea boss Maurizio Sarri says that they will give their all to winning the finals later today against Arsenal. They've had a good season, but victory tonight will cap it all up right there for the Blues right there in Baku.
No, we did a wonderful season. Because in the last season, Chelsea wasn't in Champions League. Now we are in Champions League. We played the final in a competition in which we played against Liverpool and against Tottenham, and we qualified against the two finalists of the Champions League. Then we lost the final by penalties against Manchester City. Manchester City, in my opinion, is the best team in Europe at the moment. And tomorrow we will play the final in Europa League. So I think that we played a very good season. Of course, if now we will be able to win the final, the season will become wonderful.
He was also asked what it feels like to have Eden Hazard in your dressing room ahead of a game of this magnitude.
It's a pleasure during the match. Sometimes during the week is a problem, but in the match it's a pleasure, of course. You know very well, Eden at the moment is one of the most important players in Europe, in the world. I think that he can improve. He has to try to become the best in Europe, because for characteristics he can become the best player in Europe and in the world, I think.
And of course, as elsewhere, Eden Hazard says victory in the Europa League final against Arsenal would be the perfect farewell to Chelsea if he's to leave the club this summer. Hazard revealed at the end of the season that he had made a decision on his future and expected it to be resolved following the final in Baku. While former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho says it might be the last game for Eden Hazard as a Chelsea player.
It looks like it's the last match in blue for Eden Hazard, a player that was crucial for Chelsea's success in this last generation. I think Eden also will try to be what he is the majority of the times, a fantastic player on the pitch, and win and go possibly, I don't want to say more than possibly, to Real Madrid with a last trophy for Chelsea.
Mourinho also faces a perfect final match for Peter Cech.
It is Peter Cech's last football match. I think it's a match that he would choose. If he could choose a match to retire, I think this would be the match. And I'm pretty sure that before he goes home, it looks like he goes home next season, home Chelsea. I think, of course, he would love to do it in a winning way, because he's a winner, he wants so many things.
When asked who is under pressure, the former Real Madrid boss had this to say.
More pressure, of course, for Arsenal because they play that season. They play the Champions League spot for next season. They play for many millions. They play for their pride, for the success of that season. So more pressure on the Arsenal side.
And of course, the match comes out tonight at 8 p.m. is the time. Of course, Arsenal-Chelsea right there in Baku, Azerbaijan, UEFA Europa League final. And of course, elsewhere this morning, Neymar has been stripped of the Brazil captaincy for the next month's Copa America and will be replaced by his Paris Saint-Germain teammate, Dani Alves, for the 7-year-old forward, given the role 8 months ago, but under pressure after recent disciplinary issues, was informed by manager Tite on a Saturday. Moving on this morning, where Dubai-based billionaire Sheikh Khaled bin Zayed Al Nahyan says he has agreed terms with Mike Ashley to buy Newcastle United. Migdal Kawai, managing director of bin Zayed Group, issued a statement on Monday afternoon confirming the talks, which Sky Sports News reported were taking place earlier in the day. And of course, Newcastle have confirmed to Sky Sports News that the statement is genuine but have not released one of their own. Last year, Sheikh Khaled failed in a £2 billion takeover of Liverpool. Ashley wants around £350 million for the club he bought 12 years ago. And of course, hitting home stretch this morning, Real Madrid captain Sergio Ramos asked to leave the club to join a team in China on a free transfer. President Florentino Perez has revealed. Perez says Ramos and his agent approached the club claiming they had received a very good offer from China, but says Madrid had refused the defender's request. He said Ramos and his agent came to see me in my office and told me they had a good offer from China, but the league rules over there wouldn't permit them to pay the transfer fee. Perez told radio station Onda Cero. What was I going to tell him? We would say this couldn't happen, but would speak to the club to satisfy him, but that Real Madrid could not afford to let his captain leave for free, as that would set a terrible precedent for other players. And lastly, this morning, police in Spain have made a number of arrests as part of an investigation into match fixing. Current and former players as well as club executives reportedly from the country's top 2 divisions have been detained. The police action follows complaints about possible match fixing in a May 2018 match from La Liga to the Spanish authorities, and said a La Liga spokesman. La Liga has reported a further 8 possible match fixing cases to police. It's a wrap on the show this morning. As we go out to see the match, Nigeria developed violence and fanaticism. Let's play one game and remains yours sincerely in sport. Emmanuel Tibuza, the top striker, join us by 3 for today's Sport Live. If not for anything, at least for your heart. Do some sport. Emmanuel Tibuza, signing out.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Jump in the car and drive out of my home. I ain't gonna spend my Friday